Hello friends, my name is Type 1, and I'd like to welcome you back to our World Building Wednesday series, a series where we dive into the 15 years of world building from my own personal stories. So last time that we were together, we finished talking about the many fictional races that I have produced for this series. That was the last bit of our intermission between our zooming in metaphor for this little project. And now we're going to the times 10 view. This is a stupid metaphor, I won't lie, but it helps my brain keep things organized. Today we're talking about cities. Okay, we're talking about cities. We're talking about places where people live. We talked about the kinds of people. Now we're talking about where those people live. As I said prior, if I'm going to talk, I wanted to talk about where the cities first, but then I realized I should probably talk about the races first beforehand, because you need to know who lives in the cities before you know about the cities, right? It only makes sense to me. So, if you enjoy the content that I am producing here on the Type 1 Productions channel, I would greatly appreciate a like, comment, or subscribe just to let me know you're out there. And now, let's get right into our first fantasy city. So, first up, how do I want to phrase this? How do I want to phrase this? Let's see. I'm trying really hard to think of how to phrase this. This is a little complicated. Okay, I know. And were we doing the... Okay, so we're doing bold. Just bold, no underlines or nothing. Let me check. I want to make sure everything looks good, looks the same. Format bold. Why do you not like that word? Okay, I don't really care. How do I... Dude, I feel so dumb. How do I get the bullet points? Ah, there we go. Locked in. You're getting the setup, dude. Like, there we go. Forgive me, I should have really had this set up prior to recording, but that's fine. So, Sol, Polaris Octantis. This, the city, the capital city of the Kaolans is one thing, but it's distinctly structured. So the other two are just limbs off of it. They're all part of the same structure, really. The same conglomerate. If that makes sense. Little city of Kaola Country is known as Sol, named for a mythological star from the distant past. If you didn't know this, our sun is called Sol. This is a reference to this being in humanity's future. Total of 3 major population centers within Kaola Country. Polaris, the northwestern settlements, and Octantis, the southeastern eastern settlements are considered to be under the same jurisdiction as Seoul, creating a singular, how do you spell singular, there we go. Okay, so that's our first setup here. Seoul is named after our sun. It's just a mythological thing in their world. They don't know it's actually a real star. So that is their central city. Polaris, named after our North Star, sits in the northwest. So it's like kind of at a diagonal angle to the west. Northwest. Then Octantis, named after Octantis Sigma, the south polar star, which is the North Star's opposite, it lies in the southeast. So when you're looking at this, it creates kind of a lightning bolt shape, kind of, sorta. There's like a diagonal slash, really. More, I guess, yeah, it's more of a slash than a lightning bolt, but you get the vision. You see the vision. Together to form what is referred to as the belt of civilization. That's not how you spell that. As these three population centers are the how do you want to say this? Are the most developed parts of Kaolin society, as well as the only groups. No, as well as the only Kaolin settlements to do business with Edenite traders from the far north. Okay, where's my undo button? I don't know what I just did, but I don't like it. Far north. So they refer to this as the Belt of Civilization, partly because of how these three areas are lined up, and partly because they are the most developed. This is the most advanced civilization out of all the KL, because there's like a lot of little pocket villages and stuff, but Seoul, Polaris, and Octantis together, they are the most advanced. They have a closer societal structure to what we might call modern compared to any other. Let's see. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, anyways, I need to look up a word real quick. Interesting. and its offshoots, while more modernized than most Kaolan settlements, are still relatively simple compared to the technologic hub of Eden. No, I'm gonna call it New Eden. We're gonna update this, I think. So whenever I say soul here, this is gonna refer to everything about them, for the most part. Nah, maybe not. Maybe not. I'm trying to think. I don't want to say hardy. So how do we want to describe them? The bird? No. Each section of the belt specializes in a specific area. Polaris to the north specializes primarily in lumber. And let's not say defenses, but let's say metalworking. That seems solid. While Octantis to the south specializes in fishing, farming, and animal husbandry. Soul, while not strictly producing any singular good, acts as the hub Kaolan society, bringing forth trades with outsiders, trades within the belt, entertainment, and politics. So these areas, Octantis is to the south. They are closest to the ocean, so they have a lot of fishing, but they also specialize in farming and animal husbandry. If you remember from earlier when we talked about the Kaolans, they primarily eat, what was I say? I remember I said eggs. What else did I say? Largely ovitarian. Yeah, and their worms, which is this is where they get the meat at. This is where it's grown and raised, is down here in Octantis. While in Polaris, they have access to a lot of different types of lumber due to their location. So they primarily work with that, but they also have lumber deposits. Yeah, you know, wood that grows in the ground, you mine it up, it's pretty sick. No, metal deposits. So they've been the go-to for developing metallurgy for this society. And then Seoul is the hub. It is the capital. It is pretty much where everything goes to happen. Anything of importance. Trading, entertainment, politics, you know. If you need it, you can get it in Seoul, pretty much. To the constant downpours that plague Limnos, the people, wait, hold on, what was that? Did I make like a hyperlink? What does this do? I'm gonna have to look this up. This might be like a hyperlink thing. We might be able to turn this into like something of a wiki, which would be kind of sick. Anyways, moving on. Have developed hydroelectric technologies that power the limited electronics they have available. Constant gathering, dispersing, and managing of water levels is a crucial task for all three sections of Seoul, but for Octantis and its crop yields especially. So that's kind of what we're looking at. They're a simple society. They don't have a lot of electricity or technology, but what they do have is powered by water. Because it's constantly raining here. Like there is like a month out of the year where it is not raining. And that is it. Like in this area of the world, just constant water. And as such, they have adapted to use this to their advantage. You know, water wheels, waterways, all kinds of things. Like whatever you can think of that can be powered by water or can be used to move water, they have it going on. So that is, for the most part... Oh, what happened here? There we go. Fixed that. Wait, that was supposed to be in bold. What the heck? Dude. Bold. Just... There we go. Hey, fighting with me. Okay, so... Geez, that looks messy. But since it won't just let me do a normal tab. That is Seoul, Polaris, and Octantis. It's a bit confusing how they're laid out, but they are all part of the same structure. You can think of it like how New York is like one big city, but it still has like the boroughs, you know. It's got like Manhattan and Brooklyn and Hell's Kitchen and you know, all them other ones. I've only been to New York once. I don't know a whole lot about the names of their places, but I know the ones that show up in pop culture a lot. But it's kind of like that. You can consider like Octantis and Polaris. They're part of Seoul, but they're more like their own individual boroughs, kind of doing their own thing, their own culture, and and like materials they're working with. But they're all part of the same big happy family here. I think for now, this is a pretty good stopping point for us. I want to make this a short and sweet one. I want to, as we do the major cities, I want to do one per video, I think, for right now. This was just around 20 minutes. Not too bad. It gives you a good idea of what we're talking about here. And, I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, next time we'll talk about the Edenite City. And after that, we'll probably talk about... the Jimacalx's city. And then after that, I mean, the only other city of, like, major note would be the Moreres. Like, everything else I think I'd be able to do in, like, one video or so. Because as we established before, the Bone Folk, they don't have a lot going on yet. Keyword yet. And what they do have going on is largely unknown to the people in the story. The Swamp Folk, similar situation. They have a village, but it's pretty bare bones. Neodolus are hunter-gatherers. They're kind of always on the move, nomadic across their island. And then the Arakun also have a village, but it's also pretty simple. So there's not like a lot, like not a ton of like huge population centers. Though I can think of at least one other that we'll need to talk about. Maybe two. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But until next time, my friends, my name has been Type 1. Once again, if you could do all that YouTube stuff, the like, comment, and subscribe, I would deeply appreciate it. Especially if you enjoyed the video. That'd be even better. But until next time, my friends, y'all have a good morning, evening, afternoon, and night. Bye-bye.